Hey, it's your girl Sheila L. Brown. So WFO, we're celebrating 60 years in the industry, and all week long I'm interviewing one of our employees so you can know about all the different job descriptions and all the different jobs that is here at WFO. And today we have our own Centrell. He is our production coordinator, and let me tell you, he has a lot to talk about. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Every day at WUFO is a good day.
It is a good day. It is a different day, right?
Oh, always.
Always. So tell me a little bit about radio. How did you decide to get into radio?
Actually, I would love to say I made a conscious decision, but it really feels like it was almost predestined. I learned a little about it in high school. I went to this program called Buffalo Community Partnership where Sandy White, one of our partners, was teaching. That was really the first introduction to radio, a little bit behind the scenes. And of course, I have to mention that my dad was here in the 80s doing gospel and production. So it kind of came full circle around 2008-ish. My cousin Jomo was doing Access to Africa, and he needed help on Sundays, and I wasn't doing anything at the time. I just stopped graduate school and was like, okay, I'll hang around, see if I remember anything. It had totally changed.
See, that's a good point to show how radio will evolve every day. Yeah.
And so it's even thinking 60 years of evolution of this station. But so because I remember back when I was introduced to radio, it was all reel to reel and tape tracks, and I walked into the studio and I'm seeing everything computerized and digitized. Thankfully, my education allowed me to keep up with technology a little more than maybe some of my peers. So I was able to gravitate towards this new iteration of radio a lot quicker than some other folks would be able to.
Yeah.
But so I just kept my head to the ground, kept listening and learning and observing.
Yeah. And you did that Sunday night with Ross Jomo for how long?
A good 10 years.
At least. So then you became almost like his music director on that show.
Because when I started out, I was really just there to assist and pull up little news articles. It just so happened that he happened to go to Jamaica and leave me alone.
Jamaica in January.
And I was like, well, no, I know the music, and I knew the systems. So I was like, let me take my hand at it. I remember that first time I covered his show, and the great Lee Pettigrew sat with me, and he observed for like a good hour. Then he was like, "Nah, you're fine. I'm gone."
Yes, that's good.
So that was a good 10 years. 8 years into that, what happened? We happened to be at Richie's.
Yes. We were doing live to air. So from 6 to 10 p.m., we would be live at Richie's on Main Street. And we had really turned that Richie's into something really special. That was grown and sexy for sure. So people throughout the whole city of Buffalo, our age group, was really coming there every Friday. So we had different DJs hosting the mic. And then what happened one week when you got to the microphone?
Somebody made the mistake of passing me a mic, and folks realized that I had a little mic skill.
Yes.
And I was like, it might have been genetic.
Yeah.
It might have been me working on it a little bit at a time over the years.
Yeah.
But you definitely wanted to hype up the party, let the people know exactly what was going on. And I remember that week was leading into the Black Music Month conference, that first one.
Yes.
So that gave me a lot of material to work with, and DJ Ready Rob was on fire that night, so that inspired me.
Yes. So y'all two just really clicked, and you handled that mic in a way that we didn't even know was inside of you. And that is what God says, that you have treasures right in your own backyard, right? And so for 10 years, we had that treasure that was only coming in on Sunday, shadowing behind Ross Jomo, in which he should have been out in the front. And once we seen that, it was like, oh, you have all that on you? So immediately we talked to you about doing more in the company. And then what happened from there?
So then I came in, I covered Michael Baisden, and I decided to, actually that was me getting more behind the scenes, the technical aspect, just learning everything else that I could that I wasn't able to pick up on Sunday. So board mastery, sound mastery, and that even allowed me to start editing sound in production. So when the time came that we needed a new production coordinator, I think I was offered as tribute for the job.
Yes. And it really turned into something just quick.
Yeah.
You know, real, and you do an amazing job. Tell me a little bit about what's your day-to-day job description when you go into production.
Well, production is really the backbone of the radio station. It's how we stay on the air, it's how we pay the bills, keep the lights on. So basically that and the syndicated shows that we have coming in. So my day actually usually starts with Sasha the Diva.
Okay. And that was different. That was something different, bringing in pieces of a show. And then we got to add music to it, edit it, and then get it in the system. We're talking 3 hours. How has that came to perfect that? Because I'm sure it's easier than what it was when it first came down.
Lord Jesus. The first thing was we were pulling elements from a Dropbox and a music file online, so trying to merge those and make those congeal and make it make sense was a lot of effort, because sometimes you would have to edit out certain parts because it was meant for other parts.
Gotcha.
And it was really just a process of back and forth and making the show our own for and I think Sasha actually benefited from that also, because in the process of us making it our own, she was also able to make it her own and amplify her voice. And right now, we're at the point where it's really just the 12 segments, 4 per hour. I really don't have to do too much editing. Sasha's team is pretty much on point with where things fall.
Nice.
So it's just a matter of just double checking the audio, making sure everything is where it's supposed to be, putting it in the system, and letting King Shah do his magic. From there, we move on to other shows that may come up. So our morning show, The Great Donnie McClurkin, I'll pull that down, put that where it's supposed to be, and then we move on to commercials.
Yes.
Commercials are there. Well, there's 2 sets of commercials. We have our national commercials, and then we have our local commercials. The national commercials are usually online, and it really doesn't take a lot of effort to go through and just make sure the audio's right. Make sure I put props on where the commercials end, so the jocks will have a visual and audio prompt to know, like, hey, it's time to go on to the next commercial. And then the fun starts, and that's local commercials.
Yes.
our great sales reps really reach out to the community and in partnership with these businesses out here, and they get to be on a legendary station and have their voices heard. So basically, it's either one of our jocks will record the audio that they send over, or they'll come in themselves and put their own voice and stamp on. Once I get that vocal, it's really a matter of catching what's the right vibe as far as background music that fits with the business. So I wouldn't put for instance, I wouldn't put the same music for a hospital that I would put on a local eatery,
yes,
or for a local club. And then mood and who they're trying to reach. So I wouldn't put the same music trying to reach older people so much as I would hype up something that's really get out the youth and things of that nature. So it's really a lot of psychology and sociology and all those good things I learned in African American studies.
Yes, there you go. They're coming to fruition now. But let me ask you, in production, we know that radio is forever changing. I mean, when in 1961 it was just the AM sun up, sundown station. You know, then we added to FM, then we added to digital. Now we got podcasts. Now we're streaming across the country, the world, right? Where do you see production going in the next maybe just 2 years?
Definitely, it'll be a lot more of a digital platform. With the way that voice technology is evolving, probably wouldn't even need to bring people in to record their voice. They'll have quality mic enough that they can do it at their place, send us over the voice in the file, and then we just merge it here. I think as far as the technology we use, we're probably at our apex now.
Yes.
Unless it's just unless we go into touch screens, but that's a different thing. With production as well as DJing, there's always going to be an element of touch to it, because you have to feel something in order to feel what you're doing. So I don't see that physical element ever leaving.
Okay.
I just think that the technologies will become faster, and the capacity will probably grow to be able to hold more.
That makes sense. Now, you know, with WFO, we have two platforms, the 1080 on our AM dial and 96.5 on the FM. So how do we continue to merge the two? Have our terrestrial dial audience listening where our podcast is? I'm thinking that we're pretty much already there, because where all three of those meet is power965radio.com.
That's correct. So that way you can be anywhere in the world, and trust me, I've been anywhere in the world, and we've listened back. I've been in the hills of Jamaica, where you would have no chance of even getting radio signal out of Jamaica, but as long as you have internet access, you can listen on your phone.
And just as clear as it could be.
Clear as day. Like, matter of fact, I remember the last time I was down there, people were actually calling me. It was like, I thought you were in Jamaica. I was like, we are in Jamaica.
And isn't that funny, because when you guys first started going to Jamaica in January, we used to buy those cards. Remember the cards, and y'all would call back off of those cards. You know? So look how time has really been on our side to really see technology go to another level. You know.
Oh yeah, no, I think that's really been the beauty of WUFO over the 60 years. They've always embraced the new technologies, and even the new sounds coming out of music, out of black music, because you will hear things here that you won't hear anywhere else. So people like a Mariah, or up and coming people like a Michelle Brooks Thompson, you'll be able to hear here.
That's right.
You won't be able to hear anywhere else necessarily. And these are great voices adding to the lexicon of what black music is.
No, I agree. Well, it's always a pleasure to have you in the seat to talk about your department and talk about what's going on and what's next in your department and what's next for WFO. So it's been a pleasure.
It's my pleasure always.
Always. Well, guys, as we're celebrating 60 years, you are going to have a chance to meet each and every one of our employees here at Vision Multimedia Group. And today we had Centrell Muata Smith. And he does amazing job in production. He makes the 30-second, 60-second, half an hour or hour that you hear on the radio, he makes it come alive. So we thank him for being in that department. You guys can always go to our website, which is power965radio.com. That's power965radio.com. And WFO, as we're celebrating 60 years in the industry, we're also celebrating 60 years of blackness. We're celebrating 60 years of politicians, 60 years of teachers, 60 years of black children, 60 years of black men, 60 years of black women, 60 years of black businesses. So we need you guys to tune to us so you can see all of the businesses, all of the talk shows that we have on the air so that you can be a part of it. Don't forget the Bangles Brunch, December the 4th, 12 noon at the Hyatt Regency here in the city of Buffalo. Tickets are on sale here at WUFO Studios, 143 Broadway, or you can go to power965radio.com for full details. We'll see you tomorrow on the next podcast.